What's up everybody, John from Old Reading Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, I'm going to show you how we built this picnic bench for our chickens. Let's get to it. So we're going to start out with this. What we had was some pine boards. We have some 1x4s here, and then we had a 1 foot by 4 foot long piece. And so that's what we used for the top. All the other little pieces we used ripped down versions of these pine boards. So first things first, we're gonna rip down some wood using our table saw. So now instead of one 1x4, we have 2 1.25 by 4s, or 1/4 inch by 4s. No, I'm done. So now we have 2 strips of wood, like so, 8 feet long, and we are going to use these 2 pieces to basically make everything else right there. So there are 12 cuts we need to make. We're going to make the little lip so that we can pour food in here and it doesn't come out. There's a little bench here so they can hop up and hang on. There's a little stabilizer here to make sure the legs don't fall apart. And then there's the legs themselves. So we'll start out with the legs. The legs are going to be 12 inches long with a 30-degree angle cut at both the top and the bottom. So I'll show you how we do that here. Gonna just set our circular saw to 30 degrees. Take one of our boards, cut the end off, plug in the saw first. So now we have that 30-degree angle cut there. I'm going to measure from the long point and make a mark for 12 inches. So we just did that wrong. So you want the angle to be the same on both ends. So that's great. Now that's what you want. You want the angle to be the same on both of them so that when it sits on the ground, they basically cancel each other out. So this part sits on the ground, this part holds it up, and at that angle, this top will be level. So now I'm going to use this as a template and cut 3 more. So now we got the 4 legs cut. I'm going to put them off to the side and we're going to start cutting the other pieces. So I'll try to put a cut list in the description below. But so basically what we're going to have, these bars are 23.5 inches long. These are 24 inches long. These are 9 3/4 inches long. And these are 17 3/4. So you're gonna have 2 at 23.5, 2 at 24, 2 at 9 3/4, 2 at 17 3/4. And that's just an easy way you can just make all the cuts and then put it all together. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so now we got the platform ready. We got all of our cuts made. We're gonna put the lip on first because I did that the opposite. I did that last with the first one I built, and then it was a bit of a pain in the neck to do. So I'm using these Star Drive 1-inch screws, which are not the best. I would suggest you get some soft wood screws. Probably 1.25 inches would be good. These are just 1 inch. It's what I have lying around. Trying to keep our costs down, so that's what I'm using. But again, I would suggest you use some wood screws. 1.25 inches would be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill holes, 2 on each side, 2, 2, and 2, and then I'm going to put my legs on. especially with this soft wood and the screws that I'm using, it's really important to pre-drill, otherwise it will split. Now I'm just going to put these screws in a little bit so that the point just sticks out, and then I'll finish screwing once I put the other piece on. Now we got our platform all built. Kind of just looks like a tray. So now that we got that, I'm going to measure in each one of these corners. I'm going to measure in 1 inch from each one of these corners, and that's where the start of my legs will be. I'll show you what I mean. All right, so I'm going to measure 1 inch in from the corner here. 1 inch. 1 inch. Oops. 1 inch. 1 inch. You know, it doesn't need to be exact, just some kind of indication of where the legs are going to be. Okay. So now I got that all mapped out. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my leg pieces and I'm going to drill a little hole right in here because we're going to put a screw in this way to connect to the platform. By the way, unsolicited shout out to Milwaukee. This little impact driver does so well. I love this thing. Milwaukee, if you're listening and want to sponsor me, let's do it. So I'm just going to put it I only have 1 inch screws. So I'm just going to put it just like that. So just one little hole and it comes out right there. It's, it's not going to hold it forever, but it'll hold it enough so that I can at least get them in place and then screw them in from the top. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so now we got all the legs on there. Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put screws in from the top. So we've got the legs screwed in from the top. Now we're going to add the bracer bars across here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 4 1/4 inches down and then just make sure I have enough space to put the little resting bar. So I'll measure 4 1/4 inches down, make a little mark on the wood, and then set my bracer bars across and just make sure that they have enough room to hold the seats. So now that's in, and so you can see, so when that sits on the ground, these legs won't be able to spread out. And so when you have the little seats here, the legs won't be able to wobble this way. So like right now it's a little bit loose. So you put these bracer bars in here so that they can hold the little seats, but also to make sure that they don't wiggle. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. All right, so now we got both sides done. Bracer bar that side, bracer bar that side. Now it's time to put on the seats. Okay, so the last thing, we have everything put together. We're just gonna put on the little seats. So we're gonna do the same thing, just kind of line it up here and put some holes, drill some holes, and then put some screws. And just like that, it's all done. Ding, ding, ding. So it's super simple, really easy to make, and as my wife would say, super cute. All right, so here's the finished product, all stained and dry and ready to go. We have some food in here, hopefully the chickens will take it for a test drive very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Please give this video a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you think, and as always, please subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye!